So I struggle with words, some days more so than others. This morning my dad knocked on my door and I was like, come in. But then on the other hand, there's almost always a gap when I answer the phone, because if I don't stop to think about it, I will answer the phone and say, come in. If I'm writing a paper, it doesn't really matter because I can stop and figure out the word I want to use. There's no breaks in the writing. But when I'm verbally speaking, that's where the issue is more prominent. In music once, back at school, I can't remember what we were talking about, but we had to identify each person's role. And I was asked, even though my hand wasn't up, because of course it wasn't, if you don't want to be picked to answer, put your hand up to answer and they won't sodding go near you. The guy played the piano, but for some reason I couldn't remember the word pianist, or that he played the piano was also a viable option. So I went, he's piano. And I was scolded for that answer. The class were encouraged to laugh at me because the guy wasn't a piano, lol. For God's sake, I'm not going to write, oh, he was a piano, in my exam. We can't expect me to have the words ready to answer in class. If you'd have given me a chance before ridiculing me, I'd have corrected myself. I used to hate that so much. Every bloody teacher at every parents' evening would say, oh, she's incredibly shy, oh, she needs to talk more, she's so shy. No, I'm not shy. I'm struggling to speak, but people don't like it when you talk about your disability, so fine, I'm bloody shy. Also, shy and anxious are used far too interchangeably at schools. They always used to encourage me to put my hand up in class, which, yeah, even without the word issue, that's totally a thing I can do. Raise my hand, are you mad? But even if that was a thing I could physically do, which it wasn't, my joints don't work like that, it still just took me longer to be able to answer. It took me longer to process what you just said. It's not that I wasn't listening. You just need to give me a bloody sec. And if you keep repeating what you said, that's just going to push me right back to the beginning again. By the time I've processed what the teacher said, reached into my memory banks for the answer, put that into words that won't get me laughed at, someone else has already answered. If I'm picked on and I'm silent for a sec because I can't even figure out the words, hang on a sec, when I'm put under pressure, the teacher moves on, asks someone else, and then goes into a big speech about how you should never stay silent and always at least say, I don't know. And that would be wonderful if you'd give me the time to figure out the words, I don't know. But maybe I shouldn't even have to say, I don't know, because not putting your hand up should be an indication that I don't bloody know. I asked for help when I needed it, and I got good grades. I was picked to go on a trip to bloody Oxford because they thought I could end up going there. Spoiler alert, I didn't. You know I understand the material when you give me the time to understand it. Sodding leave me alone. Because by the time we've gone through all this song and dance, I'm too mentally exhausted from needlessly burning through my mental word processor for I and don't and no too quickly to do anything else. That's the biggest reason why I struggled so much on German speaking tests. I could speak the German just fine, I just can't figure out what the bloody hell I can see from my fictional sodding balcony. Just move on if you don't know, but I do know, I just need you to give me a sec to articulate it. Thankfully I'm now at the Open University and they're very understanding and they trust that if you're struggling with something you'll ask. Anyway, that's why I despised being picked on at school by the teachers, and that's why I get anxious even now answering questions, because apparently struggling and saying piano instead of pianist was utterly hilarious.